Hey everybody, this is Patrick at In Response Gaming, and this is what's new with Flesh and Blood. Hey everybody, it's Patrick from In Response Gaming. It's that time again. We're going to have another set come out very soon. Spoilers for Everfest is going to be starting on the 24th of January if my date is correct, and we're going to have some explosion of different cards coming out from people being pulled from their boxes that they have. Different content creators are going to have some content to throw at us, and that is like one of the coolest ways I think that they could spoil new cards, is just giving them all one box, open them and record them and show them to everybody. And how they did it for TOA, which was Tales of Aria, was actually during the draft of some of the callings, which is a cool way of opening them up and seeing with the cards for the first time. But this speculation for what could come through is being teased by Flesh and Blood TCG on their Twitter. Every once in a while, you'll see every few hours they may do a new card that has a hint of a certain dialogue. Say there's they give you a hint of what the card could be, but not necessarily telling you the card. And so I made my own little segment today. Is we're going to look at some of the Wizards cards that I want to hope that they'll do, not necessarily in Everfest, but later on down the line. We're going to have that potentially. It'd be great for Kano. I know that Iyslander was just spoiled. It's more of a blitz hero. I'm not sure if they're going to make her into an adult hero for classic constructed, but it would be great to see kind of her flushed out a little bit more. But now that we have our second wizard, we still got to go back to Kano for our main CC hero for Wizards. And I'm still going to be trying to play him and Dash as my main two heroes. So I figured I'd put a little bit of custom card segment in for you guys today. So the first card we're going to go ahead and look at is called Elder Wand. So basically, Elder Wand is going to be a wand that is one-handed. Of course, we only have just the one equipment for Wizard, which is basically, well, we have two staffs, but they're both two-handed weapons. So we created something offhand we're going to show after this to complement it. So it's going to be Elder Wand once per turn instant, because if we do this multiple times per turn, it'd just be broken. But it's basically a strictly better Crucible of Aetherweave. Deal 1 arcane damage to target hero, and then it gives you the ability to do the Crucible of Aetherweave, which is the next card you play this turn has an effect that deals arcane damage. Instead, that deals that much damage +1. I had some iterations for this card where it could be the cost could be negated to 0 if you've played a non-attack action card, or basically if you banished one, if you played a banished card. But then again, you might not be able to use this with Iyslander because she doesn't banish cards. She doesn't have the ability that Kano does. So I just took it out all together. There's could be some ways that we could say that we could just play this instant effect for 0, just basically gaining that, but there's going to be probably better or more restrictions. Let me know down in the comments what you think it could be. If there's like, if you need to play 2 non-attack action cards as instances, and then you'll get this for 0, who knows. And then so to complement that, since it's one hand, you're going to have something else in your hand. So we could have either an orb, which I think is sort of like a Diablo 3-esque wizard where they have the wand and the orb, but sort of in this lore, I figured the tome would be better. So this is going to be an offhand wizard equipment, Tome of Knowledge. Once per turn effect, whenever you play your third non-attack action, you may draw a card. If a card was drawn this way, put a card from on top of your hand on top of your library. Basically, this helps out whenever you're starting to pop off more on your opponent's turn. You're able to draw a card, and then maybe if you do have a red, you can put it on top. But then again, doing your third non-attack action might be a little bit too restrictive. I could drop it down to 2. I've not yet play tested with this. As in some of the play testing I have done was with the equipment hat that we're going to see in a little bit. But for this particular play testing, I don't know if 3 non-attack actions would be too much so you can loot. This is basically effectively looting, and that's what the hat will do. But for this particular effect, you don't actually have to do anything. It's just basically your Mask of Momentum. It's like your third attack action. But for this one, it would be even way harder than Mask of Momentum. So I don't know if dropping it down to 2 might be a little bit more effective, or a little bit more balanced, because it might be just too much of a restriction for 3. So for this hat that I was talking about is going to be the Wizard Equipment hat. I wanted this to be particularly at Majestic level because I don't think it's too broken, or Legendary. I think Legendary would be too much. So basically it is Crown of Seeds / Visitronic Model I for Wizards. So basically the sorting hat is a once per turn instant, pay 1 resource, draw a card, and then put a card from your hand on top of your library. Activate this when it is not your turn. So basically you can only activate this when it's your opponent's turn, and it effectively allows you as a wizard, basically Kano, to, if you've got a couple of blues and then 2 reds, and you want one of those reds on top of your library to banish, you can potentially grab a blue, have 3 blues and 2 reds, put one of the reds down on top of your library, and then go from there. Solo testing from this particular equipment has been phenomenal, and I hope that they make something to this effect, because it's sort of like Ragamuffin's hat, where it's a destroy effect for that. And I did have a version of this where it is a destroy effect, but I don't know if it was any particular way of doing, if it was better this way where it stays on the battlefield as a Majestic, or maybe, I don't think they'll have rare equipment for your body. But if it is a Majestic and it just be destroyed, then the version of that would be, let me find it here. So basically the destroy effect for this equipment can be changed to this if it's Majestic sort of Visitronic Model I. It would be destroy as an instant, no cast. Instant destroy the sorting hat. Whenever you activate a hero ability this turn, you may draw a card and then put a card from your hand on top of your library. So it's like the Visitronic model a little bit, but Ragamuffin's hat, I don't think it's just whenever you activate the hero constantly. I did that because whenever you're boosting for Visitronic Model I, you're gaining that action point style of equipment for the wizards. And I do have one extra card that I didn't make. It was for a kitchen table, at kitchen table TCG. Very good YouTube channel for Flesh and Blood. If you haven't checked him out, go ahead and check him out. He did a little custom card for his Twitter as well. And if you guys want to check it out, it basically says this. Basically, Louis from Kitchen Table had a Twitter post basically said, hey, you put a custom card, the most likes will get a giveaway, and then I'm going to tweet my own like and give you guys a giveaway for my most liked card. So what Jonathan Medina at Medina _MTG, that was his Twitter tag, and he got the most by far, by like a couple of retweets with 24 likes, and he came up with a Majestic called Mindstorm. And it is pitch for 3, cost for 2. And if it's not your turn, you may play this as though it were an instant. Draw 3 cards and then put a card from your hand on top of your library, on top of your deck, basically. And then go again. However, this is probably one of the best cards that I've seen that could be Majestic. However, the only thing that I would personally change is you've never seen a wizard attack, or basically a wizard action not having go again. So remove go again, because basically then if it's not your turn, you don't play it as an instant. Kind of defeats that purpose if you have go again. So why would you have go again if it's able to play as an instant on your opponent's turn? I know there's differences, but I personally would not have that. I think that's more of a balancing issue. And then some of the people were saying maybe you're pitching something to pay for this for 2. And so that's 2 cards that you're basically effectively losing to draw 3 and then put 1 on top. So you're negating everything. Now you could do cost 1, pitch for 3 still. And then this would be draw 2, put 1 on top. But then that's too, I think that's too restrictive, because you're basically getting 1 to pitch for this to actually activate. You're losing 2 cards again, and then you're basically drawing 2 and then putting 1 on top. So you're losing, it's a negative card advantage from that particular change. So I think this card is actually really nice. It would flow. I didn't actually test this yet. It would be nice to test as a solo proxy play testing, so it would be kind of cool to see how it would be going. But that's pretty much all that I have for you guys today for the custom card segment for Wizard. We'll make a custom card segment for Mechanologist in the next video because I actually did come up with some pretty sweet ideas. And for this like giveaway, I did put a couple of those ideas and he liked a couple of those. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is Patrick at In Response Gaming. I'll see you guys later.